Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Yearly senior citizen here, greetings boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Hokey smokes, it is indeed a brand new day. I walked from here to Walmart and back, and it was, less than a mile from here to there, I think. But I walked there, I walked back. It's nasty weather today. There's wind and rain and just, oh boy. So that's joyous. And so I'm going to be spending most of my day inside the cracker box here just because bad weather. Joyous on that. But at least I got the exercise in. I was able to go purchase some more chili and such because of course, I had rice a-cooking last night because I am still a rice maniac. Thumbs up for that. Plus, I have discovered that rice helps me out in more ways than one. When I'm eating rice, I want to just eat rice. I have zero desires to eat any other junk. I don't want to eat chips. I don't want to eat, baked products. That's what I was looking for. Like snack cakes. I don't want to eat candy. I want rice. And I want rice right now when I want to eat rice. But when I'm not eating rice, I start to crave carbohydrates in other ways. So if I don't eat rice, I will eat junk just to get the carbohydrates. So I got to make sure that, I do have rice cooked up and ready to go each and every time that I start running low of rice that I've made, so that I can keep going and not start eating garbage. So thumbs up on that. Yay! Past that, have not been doing much. Which is kind of why I wonder if I'm starting to suffer from dementia or something. And yes, starting. Thank you. Because it's just been really, really difficult to remember and think of things, especially in situations like right now, where I've been trying to think of what I was going to talk about for quite some time before I actually started recording. I am just not able to think and remember things. I remember some of the stuff to think of afterward because I think of a lot of things all the time, but I'm quite sure it's just ADHD and such. But I mentioned yesterday how it was largely a blank, just static, and how I had no real memory of anything I had done the day before. Not that bad now. I remember more of what I did yesterday, but I still have that kind of staticky, blurry, not quite sure about it. Which, when I say wondering if I'm suffering from dementia, going through and rereading the descriptions on that everywhere at the end of time, a 6 hour, if you don't know about it, a 6 hour musical composition broken up into 6 CDs of somebody descending into dementia. And the first, at first you're starting to realize something's wrong, but you're still able to remember things well. And then with each album, memory gets more and more slippery and hard to work with, until you really realize there's something wrong, and then there's nothing you can do about it, and it continues to fall apart. And of course, the last stage of the last album, when the last album ends, is when the person dies. And it is heavy duty. I put it on to listen to last night, and I had a real solid debate with myself, because I was already crying before I even put it on. And so it was, am I putting it on to enjoy it? Or am I putting it on to make it hurt? And in the end, I just said, well, you know, the first album isn't bad. I'll just listen to that. So I did. Now, one of the things that I think is amusing and not amusing, a lot of the all of the tracks, but especially you can hear it on the first album, it's a little bit slippery slidey, but you can hear the record scratching as the music is playing, because it's old-timey music that's playing. And some of the people that I've heard talking about it, they mentioned that sound as a mysterious and threatening something that's unexplained. It's the record scratch. But at the same time, it does add something to it. Sometimes a banana isn't a banana. So, if it evokes a mood, did the person put it there for that reason, or was it for a different reason that happens to trigger this reaction in some other people? But it uses a lot of repetition, good repetition, a lot of samples from the 1940s and such. Really good stuff. If you look up Everywhere at the End of Time, if you've never heard of it, or if you have and you want to re-listen, it's definitely worth it. I've never listened past the third album, and I'm not sure that I'd be able to. It's difficult to listen to, not only because it starts to become more and more discordant, but also because of what it signifies and what's happening, because what it's showing you. It is very horrifying, very difficult. A thumbs up for that, anyway. I keep hearing noises from outside, so I'm quite sure that there are people running around, and I'm trying not to yell too loudly so that I don't just send my voice out to everybody that's walking around. Let me see what else I've got up here, because I don't know that I have anything at all. Because I had mentioned, again, how previously a lot of the stuff has been just staticky, gone. I really haven't done a lot, and again, makes me worry. One of the things that starts to happen as you start to die is you start to get naturally nostalgic. So I fear nostalgia as well as disliking it for a lot of other reasons, because it can be an actual symptom. So I don't like getting nostalgic, and I'm nostalgic about some things of late. Danger signs. It makes me worry. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm not, suffering from dementia and just starting to feel the first effects of it now, because that would blow chunks. And chunks just ain't my dog. The only other stuff I've got up there is just about my solo RPG stuff. I've got games up there that I want to play. I have got solo RPG stuff I want to play. I've got Fabled Lands that I want to keep doing for the channel. I think it's very fun. It's a spiritual adaptation of the books rather than a contractual I've even forgotten the word right in the middle of talking about it. A contractual representation of the books. They don't take it word for word. And a lot of times they take the text that's travel text is just, well, you're traveling on the map, so no need to have the travel text that you would click through because you show the icon moving. So it streamlines is the wrong word, but it adapts it for a different media, which as I've gotten older, I've come to understand better that, yeah, books and movies are different. You can't just use the book as the script for the movie. You have to adapt it. They're different media, so you have to tell the story differently. Same thing with games and such like that. I can't remember where I was going with that. All I can think of is, oh boy, another sign of dementia. Hopefully it's all just the ADHD. Yay! So yeah, I don't have any of my games here that I can just drag out and show. I went to Amazon because I was going to pick up, I'll say that in English, I blame that again on the gabapentin. I was going to go to the Amazon website and look at picking up there's like 3 or 4 books that I don't have of the Mike Lambeau Solitaire Gamebook series. And so I was going to see about getting the next one past Spiders from Outer Space, which I have. And everything that is there says the place that you would be accepting stuff is full. Choose another location before you decide to purchase anything. I've never seen the pharmacy where I pick stuff up be full. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but that meant I couldn't touch any of the Mike Lambeau books, which I want to. I've only got a few left, and even though he's showing off the new ones that he's still working on, and I'm not, even if there's 3, I've mentioned before that when I get ready to buy something, because I had Depression era grandparents that raised me, because my mother was working because she divorced, and it was not a great beginning, but you know, Depression era grandparents, and then my parents, and then my stepfather were all children of Depression era people. And then I've become poorer over time, and so whenever I get to a purchase that's like over $20, even if it's like $19, I get really, oh God, and my heart starts to beat harder, and I feel like I'm gonna start sweating, and I just don't like pressing that button. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'd like to get, but I never will, because I would love to get some of these games out there. I used to have the game Hero Quest, and then Advanced Hero Quest. They have re-released Hero Quest. They released a lot of stuff for it. They're still supporting it. They're still selling it. It's $100. No. I have purchased a fair number of solo RPG products from Alex T of Black Oath. It's one guy who's basically, this is what he does 8 hours a day. He works on RPG stuff, and he writes out the manuscripts for the next book because he's got stuff in his head that needs to come out. And I have talked to him through email and talked to him on social media, and I support his stuff, and there's a lot of stuff of his that I want to buy, but it's $15, and it's even hard for me to go, oh yeah, and justify a $15 purchase. I'm glad I bought the boots that I have. They're the first time in I don't know how many decades that I have spent actual money, almost $40, on a pair of boots. It's stated decades. They're great. They're waterproof. They've been great for my heel, because I got bone spurs, and I have an appointment in July about my bone spurs. But these boots, these work boots that I got, these waterproof, thick work boots, they limit the mobility of my heel movement. And so because there's limited mobility, there's limited movement, which is limited pain, but there's still movement. It's not absolute immobility. That's good. So not only did I get a good pair of boots that I can wear and not get my feet wet all the time, but they're helping out while I'm waiting for my appointment. So yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. It's also in with what I talk with the poverty tax, and where Terry Pratchett, the late author of the Discworld novels, had a character called Sergeant or Captain Vimes, who married into money, loves his wife to death, and she loves him to death. But she's nobility and rich, and he is working class, to the point that he wears and purchases the kind of boots that other people he works night shift on the night watch. Well, the city watch. He wears the boots that all the other men wear. When you're poor, you buy the cardboard boots, and they don't last long, and you have to buy new ones, and when it rains, your feet get wet. Whereas if you got money, you buy the more expensive pair of boots, and a couple of years down the road, you still got that same pair of boots, and your feet are dry. Whereas if you're poor and you couldn't afford the expensive boots, all you could afford to spend your money on was the cheap boots, and you end up over time spending more money on the cheap boots than the person who spent on the expensive boots spent. But the big difference is these people that spent more money because they're poorer always had wet feet. There is a poverty tax. It is not cheap to be poor. It is very expensive to be poor. You can only afford to purchase one or two products in a store. You're paying a lot, because if you can buy in bulk, yeah, it costs more than purchasing these two, but you get so much more that individually, for the cost of these two, you got 5 or 10 now. So thumbs up. Which was one of those, I figured some economic thing out on my own the other day, which I'm not proud of, but I'm going to talk about just to get away from the depressing subject. But it's like, I finally figured out why, like if you're a paper store, why selling cartons of paper and reams of paper, which a ream is just, 500, a sheet, a collection of 500 sheets of paper is a ream. And you buy reams of paper when you go into like Walmart. You can get smaller or whatever, but 500 sheets is a ream. Oh, try to remember what I'm talking about now. I got sidetracked. Oh, can't even try. Oh, I love having ADHD. Again, and hopefully it's just ADHD and it's not anything else, which I'm going to talk to my doctor about. Still, life is life. So because I have forgotten, I am going to continue onward and cut this one a trifle bit short. I have nothing much else I can say. All I've done is play Fallout 3, which I guess here, I'll talk about this one real quick. I've talked about how I've taken on death claws, and death claws are hard. They hit you like a Mack truck. And that's heavy duty. I can take them on. About 6 or 7 smacks with my fisto, which is a power glove, which is, it hits you and you basically liquefy. It takes 6 shots, but I can do it. I'm having to eat those chems to get my body ready to tank the damage and all, but I can do it. Now I've reached the point where there are albino rat scorpions. Now they've had rat scorpions, which are just big scorpions, like a size of German Shepherd. Then they started having giant rat scorpions. These are the size of a small car. They're trouble, but they're not that much trouble. I've leveled up to the point that now the world is filled with albino rat scorpions. And since I've made my character a unarmed, which is I gotta smack you, this is a problem. Because I can smack one of those things 6 or 7 times and their health bar, which counts down like this to the middle, just goes boom, 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 boom. And meanwhile, it's smacking off 1/5 of my health with each whack with its scorpion tail. They hit not as hard as a Deathclaw, but they hit hard. And trying to smack them, well, normal game Fallout 3, you can't aim unarmed. It's just, they are target. You need to hit them in like the legs, but you need to have a weapon where you can shoot them to do that. I haven't spec'd in any guns. Albino red scorpions have really made my life rough in Fallout 3. Because I can fight a Deathclaw. No problems. I can take on one albino red scorpion. If a second red scorpion comes into the fight, I have to reload. Even with 100 stim packs, I can't win a battle against 2 red scorpions. My armor is going to get destroyed, and my fisto is going to get destroyed before I take out both of them. Reload time. So I've been having to try and spec up in other weapons and try and get grenades, but by the time I can throw a grenade at an albino red scorpion, that albino red scorpion's already smacking me with its tail because they move just slightly faster than I can run. So when I get my grenade ready when they're a block away, by the time I throw it, smack with its claw with its sting right in my face. So a grenade is not a good idea. Yay. Well, now I'm going to call this one short. It is, they were having a meeting in the community center today, which I almost barged into with my ADHD. I forget everything. Remembered at the last moment and then veered away from the door so I could do my walk. But I am going to just try and do what I can remember to do, which isn't much that I can remember. I just hope it's not dementia. So I'm going to try and get done what I can get done. I'm going to try and record and get some more things done. Fabled Lands at the very least. That is a great game. And for everybody that watches, I don't know how many of you do, but for those of you that do, thumbs up and thank you. Trying to think of if you've watched this far, if you could type polygrip in the comments to let both myself and the algorithm know that people watched the video. That would be very, very cool. Greatly appreciated. And of course, if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. You are appreciated. You have brought me from being, stumbling over my own face here. You have brought me from being a badly hurting monkey into a hurting monkey. And this is 1,000% better than the hell I was in down here. This ain't fun, but it's a whole lot better than here. I appreciate each and every one of you that helps bring me here. None of you owe me anything, and the fact that you have brought me here, I appreciate that to no end. I would put your names here, but I can feel the sparkle in bed, so I know I'm not going to be able to do too much keyboard work. And I've been fighting a heavy feeling, which I know is from my blood pressure med, so I'm going to be fighting not falling asleep here pretty soon. So I'm not going to be able to read the names out, but thank you so very much. You are appreciated. When you look into a mirror or a similarly reflective surface, you are looking at somebody who is beautiful and awesome, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and intellectually. Thumbs up and thank you. For everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome people. I appreciate every comment to no end. Even if I can't answer each and every comment, I answer as many as my nerve compression will allow, which is nowhere near as many as I want. But each and every one of you is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. Every comment helps make this lonely old man's life just a little bit better. Thumbs up and thank you. So I am going to edit, render, and upload, and it's going to be hell. The internet service has been terrible today. Well, this past week. Normally, it would just be go to the YouTube page, home page, or my subscription feed there, and the whole thing would just go boom, load up all of the thumbnails for every single icon, every video. Now it goes waits, black screen, and then it'll show a whole bunch of empty windows, and then thumbnail, might take a minute or 2 minutes for all of the thumbnails to show up. And if I scroll, well, it's not showing me what's down below. It'll scroll up like 1 or 2 lines of videos, and then I'll just get the little thing going, oh yeah, I'd like to show you, but I'm waiting for data. I went and connected to the wireless, which is still run by the same company, but it's the wireless through the community center. And for the brief moment that I was connected before it crashed out, it was very good, like 12 megabits per second download speed, and then crashed out and was nothing again, which it does that good 5, 6 or more times a day. So my internet thing through my adapter in here just blows today, so yay. Anyway though, thumbs up and thank you for watching. It is appreciated. I hope you can get done the things that you would like to get done today, and if you cannot, just don't beat yourself up. It doesn't help anything. It won't help you get it done the next time. So please, be good to yourself. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. I'm so dry still, and I'm manifesting, the problems of dehydration. Even though I'm struggling to stay hydrated, it is so irritating. Not diabetic though, and my kidneys are doing great. Fun being an organic life form. Joy. It's fun being carbon-based. Better than the alternative though. I mean, that's another video altogether.